Okay, we're here on December 3rd, 1989, and I am interviewing Louis and Minnie Tolchin, commonly called Mom and Dad, or Lou and Minnie, or whatever you want to call them. All right.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hiya.
And I'm going to be asking some questions, and you just take it as you want. We'll go from there. First question we have, and we'll go ladies first, is when and where were you born? If you want to mess up on the when, you can do that.
I'm not bashful. I was born February 19th, 1922 in McKeesport, Pennsylvania.
Okay, what can you tell us about way back then,
I
in
don't
the olden
remember.
days?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Remember something?
I don't remember when I
What
was born.
happened?
You don't remember when you were born?
No.
Well, let's ask Dad. When and where were you born?
I was born May the 13th, 1919. I was born in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Born on Bedford Avenue, right across the street from the Kelvey School.
All right. All right. We're going to go into some history now. And what I want you to do is first talk about your respective set of parents and the earliest memories you have of them, and if it means anything, the earliest memories you have of grandparents and names. And Bubby Minnie, first. Your parents' names?
Esther and Joseph Joshowitz.
Mm-hmm. And what?
They came from Europe.
Yeah.
They could not speak English when they came here. And as a result, I couldn't speak English when I was a little girl. I went to school speaking only Yiddish. And they almost threw me out of school, but my mother insisted I go because she had younger ones at home, and she had to get rid of me. I was like 4.5, 5 years old. They didn't have kindergarten like they have today in nursery.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to school, and then I learned English.
And then they let you stay.
They let me stay, yeah.
All right. And Dad, tell me about your parents.
My parents were born in Russia.
Their names?
My mother was Molly, and my father was Izzy. And what else you want me to?
Were they born in America, or were they
No,
born?
they were born in Russia.
But you had grandparents.
I had grandparents also. They were also born in Russia.
Do you remember their names?
Speak of, yeah. Zlata Sipra was my one grandmother, and Shaya was my other grandfather's name, and Hillel was my father's father, and Bobby Tolchin, I never knew her first name.
Her first name was Bubby.
Bobby Tolchin, that was all we remember.
Okay. What about brothers and sisters on both sides?
Well, my mother had 2 brothers and 3 sisters. And my father had 3 brothers
3 sisters.
and 3 sisters.
Okay. You remember any of the names?
Oh, yeah. On my mother's side, there was Uncle Louie, and then came Elkie, my Aunt Elkie, my mother, and Fanny, and Uncle Saul and Aunt Rose. And on my father's side was Aunt Helen, my father, Uncle Sam, and Dora, Uncle Beryl, and Aunt Bessie.
Where was Buck?
Oh, Buck too, I forgot about my Uncle Buck.
I don't think he'll be
That was
watching
on
this. He
mine.
won't be upset.
I don't think so.
All right. What about your brothers and sisters?
You.
Oh, I had my sister Ruth, only had one sister,
Okay, and no brothers.
no brothers.
All right. And Ruth now is?
Ruth now was Mrs. She married Leonard Aaron Rich, and she has 2 boys and a girl, Sandy and Irwin, Aaron Rich. And what's
Karen.
Karen's last name now?
Shipkovitz.
Shipkowitz. She's married to a
Married the
doc.
doc.
Married to a doc. Shipkowitz, right.
Okay, and Ruthie now is living in White Oak.
Ruthie's living in White Oak in the White Oak apartments.
Okay, moving over to the other side of the family.
Yeah.
Tell me about aunts, uncles, own brothers, sisters, anything you remember.
They never had any relatives in America. Only
Okay.
one uncle, just uncle and one aunt. Tante was her name. Molly.
Mm-hmm.
He was my mother's brother. That's all we ever had.
Okay, and what about your siblings?
I have 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Who?
Oh, Izzy, me, I was the next, Molly, and then Ruthie and Herbie are twins. They're the youngest.
Okay. All right, I'm going to ask you some names, and I might be repetitious on what you just said, but this is basically for our family album that some of our kids are named after. Who is Eddie named after?
Eddie's named after my father.
Okay. And that name was? Your father's name again?
It's Huck.
And
Yes,
Yitzchak after my father, Yosef.
Yes, Yitzchak and Yosef. He was named after both of them.
Okay, and Linda was Zlata Tsipra?
Zlata Sipper after my grandmother.
Okay. And now some of the kids' names. We have Esther, who was
My
After
mother.
your mother. And you have Malka, which was the first Malka,
First Malka was my mother.
was your mother.
Yeah.
All right.
Matt's named after
Matt's-
her.
Matt's named after Malka. That's why he's Elimelech. You have Rachel. That's after Aunt Rose.
Karen,
And Rose, yeah.
Karen Rachel,
Karen Rachel. That's after Carrie, or Carrie's named
Right.
after her.
after Aunt Rose.
And Dodie,
After my sister Malky,
after Malki. And because she's Malki Dodie.
right?
And Andy is Abraham.
Abraham, mm-hmm.
Who's Abraham?
After my uncle Abe,
Okay.
the only uncle I ever had.
All right. Now that we did all the families, we're going to go into some early childhood.
Okay.
Okay, of what you can remember. Childhood, schools, shuls, friends, etc. Anybody want to talk about? You can fight over who's first.
Go ahead, Lou. I didn't.
Well, I guess I was fortunate. My grandparents, the Supcovs, lived on Webster Avenue, right across the street from the famous Casa Torah Shul. And well, it wasn't far from me. If I wanted to stay over, I stood over and went to the shul there, and it was always exciting because any of the weddings, any of the bar mitzvahs, always something going on in the shul. And I knew that I could always stay over with my grandparents if it was late or anything. So I had a pretty good time. And I guess my sister did too. She had all her friends down there. And it wasn't far from, we used to go to the Ikes. And my grandparents lived on near the Ikes down there, so
What are the
I was
Ikes?
fortunate.
What are the
Irene
Ikes?
Kaufman Settlement's like
JCC.
like the JCC in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about my childhood. I guess I'll tell you I played baseball and basketball for the school,
Which school?
Shenley High School in Heron Hill.
Linda told me that I need to have you give the Shenley cheer on this film.
Which one was it?
Shenley, I don't know.
Alkane, Kana, hoorah, hoorah, Ajax, Iker, Piker, Dom, and Niker, Tom, Ticker, Shanley, rah, rah, rah.
I hope Linda's happy with that. All right. Who are your friends that lasted into your adulthood
Well,
from then?
Pinky, Paul Reese, lasted to my daughter.
Sam? Pearlstein, was he from
Sam
then?
Pearlstein, yeah.
Fee Levitt.
Fee Levitt, Lenny Levine, until he moved away to Florida. Artie Levine until he moved to California. I guess, and Harry Cohn. They all moved away from here. Harry Cohn was one of my friends. he moved to New Jersey, and then as I got married, sort of broke away from Sammy Rosen and Eli. I'm not Eli. Eli died. He was a good friend of ours. Mo and a few others. It just seemed that moved to McKeesport, and they lived in Pittsburgh, so I just started going around with people in Pittsburgh and McKeesport, and forgot about my friends in Pittsburgh. But we
See
used
them once
to
in
meet.
a while, but
Once in a great while we
they-
see each other.
they live only 15 miles away. It's too far for them to come to McKeesport.
It's like the same thing with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Other than Shenley, which was your high school, where'd you go to elementary? Do you remember which school?
I went from Madison. I went to McKelvey. I started McKelvey, but we moved up the hill. From down the hill, moved up the hill. Then I went into Madison School. And from Madison School, went to Heron Hill Junior High School. And from Heron Hill Junior High School, I went to Shenley. High
Okay.
School.
Were you in the service?
Yeah.
When?
Right. I remember right
I don't know.
Do you remember what year?
here. In 39.
Couldn't have been, Lou.
Sure, 37. My dad died 2 years later.
You went to the Army in 39.
Yeah.
Okay.
39.
I don't know.
39 or 40, one of those.
Did you go overseas with the Army or you stayed stateside?
No, I stayed in the States.
You protected the home front.
I protected them. I was fortunate I had a good colonel.
And when did you get married? I won't ask who you married.
40 years ago.
You can't remember the year.
49.
49 was a year. In June, okay.
Okay, move over to the maternal side here.
Yes, sir.
And same questions about your childhood, what you remember about shul, what you remember about school, what you remember about friends.
I went to Walnut Street School for public school, and then Shy Avenue School in McKeesport for junior high, and then McKeesport High School for the senior high. And I don't remember too much. Had a lot of girlfriends, a lot of boyfriends, but most of them moved away, and not too many left in McKeesport now. Went to the Hebrew Institute for Sunday school. Was confirmed from the center, Jewish center. That's about it.
What can you remember about the way life was in those days?
That was good. We didn't know any better.
What was different than it is now?
All the modern conveniences. Like I told you before, we'd go to the movie late at night and walk home from downtown McKeesport. Never thought I'd think about it. We were never afraid. Today we wouldn't do things like that.
Okay, what was
We didn't have cars, we just walked. Like I told Larrington, I used to take my brother to Hebrew school every day. Used to walk about 20 minutes to take him there, and somebody would pick him up and bring him home. Because we didn't have a car to chauffeur us around.
What was McKeesport like then? I mean, right now it looks like a ghost town just about. What was it like
It was a
then?
busy town at
Nice.
that time. The mill was working. They had the tube works there.
A lot
It was
of
always busy.
factories, a lot of mills, and there was a lot of work.
Everybody worked.
And there were a lot of people.
And it seemed like all the Jewish people had business there in McKeesport.
And
They all
around,
moved away. Nobody's kids stayed
When the
around.
mills closed up, everything.
but around McKeesport there were other towns also, right? Little
Yeah,
towns?
sure. Duquesne. And then there was Homestead.
Pitcairn, little towns, but they all died down and
Everything
died
died.
out. And McKeesport's dying out right with it.
Sure, Westinghouse moved out. Now the whole East Pittsburgh is gone. Westinghouse was a big outfit. U.S. Steel.
People used to come from Pitcairn for the holidays, and we used to spend all Yontif together. They would stay at our house, and because they had no shul in this little town of Pitcairn. And now there's nothing left.
I don't think there's many Jewish people in.
Not
Nice
no,
times.
anywhere.
Which shul did you go to in McKeesport and in Pittsburgh?
Where'd you
Oh,
go?
Kesser Torah wasn't your shul.
Case of Torah.
Well, that was your grandparents' shul, wasn't it?
That was my, I don't remember that was when I lived my grandparents lived across the street from.
All
But
right.
my other grandparent went on Aaron Street, which was down a couple of blocks. But I don't remember the name of that show there. But I used to visit both of them.
All right. And which one did you used to go to?
Camille's Hessen?
But it's not where it is now.
No, it was way downtown McKeesport. It's all been redeveloped, was torn down and rebuilt in Whitehall.
You remember what street it was on?
Yeah, Market and 3rd Street.
The steel mill bought the show.
Corner of Market and 3rd.
You remember who the rabbi was then?
It was Chin then too.
No. We had a lot of rabbis. We had a Rabbi Stiskin, a Rabbi Schick, you know, the one I remember. And then Rabbi Chin came, and he's still there. When did he come? 30,
Rabbi Chin must be there at least 30-some years.
36 years, 37
37
years.
So
37,
he was there when the show was down below.
35. I don't know.
Anything you want to say to anybody? Any of the kids?
Hi.
That's it?
That's about it. I
Yeah,
guess.
this is the old days, Lara. Just look at it good.
All right.
And remember,
Thank you for being interviewed.
my pleasure.